NBA Finals. Wade throws it down. Wade's been terrific. Keeps it alive. Wade, drive, reverse, and one. Wade with the pretty spin move. What a play from Dwyane Wade. The Miami Heat are once again NBA champions.
And the party continues on South Beach as Dwyane Wade and the Miami Heat will be the toast of the town for years to come. Rick Kamla and Steve Smith, who began and ended his NBA career in Miami. And last week, Wade's new book was released. It's called A Father First, How My Life Became Bigger Than Basketball. And Smitty, you recently had a chance to sit down with your former teammate and talk about that book.
Yeah, Rick, usually we're talking about number 3. We're talking about his game between the lines. This time I got a chance to talk about Dwyane Wade, interview the man, and also, more importantly, the father of Zaire and Zion. Let's take a look. D-Wade, what inspired you to write this book? Also, to share so much personal information to the world.
When I got custody of my boys, I felt that was an important time in my life, and I think the response that I got from a lot of dads with a lot of questions, at that moment, I felt that, you know what, I went through this painful public battle for a reason. And so I wanted to share, my experience of what I went through, and kind of hopefully, it can be looked at for someone to take something out of it, to grab something out of it. Because when I was going through the process, I really didn't have nothing to look at. I had nobody in my position that I could see that won custody of their boys. And with that, I had to share a lot of my experiences from my childhood because I had to show where it came from. So I had to go back to the root, of it. And it was very therapeutic for me to go back and think about my childhood and everything that happened.
Going through your childhood, reading about it and knowing you and seeing your relationship with your sister, Jabril. Talk about her. She's been such a big, important person in your life.
Yeah, she's very important. I think, everyone would be so lucky, to have not only a sister but a friend, someone like her, that she's unselfish. It's never about her. She always, is giving to others. I even tell her she need to be even more, she need to be selfish, but, if you're reading the book, she was unselfish when I was 8 or 9 years old to take me out of that environment and to put me in a different environment, put me in an environment with my father, what she felt that I needed at the time. I needed, my stepbrothers at the time. I just needed something different because the path that I was on my way down and living in Chicago on the South Side, was nothing positive going on there. So she wanted to, put me somewhere where she felt that, what he needs his father in his life right now. And I owed a lot to her, a lot of credit.
What would be your message to your kids that you want them to, think about and reflect as they get older?
My mom used to drill that in me when I was a kid. She'd always tell me, your life is bigger than basketball. I never knew what it meant until I got, till I got to this stage. And basketball has done amazing things for me and my family. And without it, I don't know where we would be. But it's also took me down different paths, of what I can do in the community. What my voice can do through my experiences. So my message to my kids is the same thing, man. It's just, listen, I want you guys to do whatever in life that y'all want to do, but understand that you're not just one-dimensional. That you have the ability to do and be anybody you want at any given time, and hopefully they know that.
I was reading this book and I love the pictures. I knew Dwyane Wade from the day one when Tom Crean said you would come to Marquette, Dwayne Stevens, and then I got a chance to play against you and with you in 2005. So I saw the evolution fashion-wise. I was turning and looking. Page 150, D-Wade. I just want you to look at some of these pictures and talk about the fashionable D-Wade at age 5 through high school.
I thought I was smooth, too, on those pictures. You see the one with a brown suit on? That was my favorite suit. I think I got like 4 pictures in that each different year. I'm from Chicago, so the guys in Chicago, they like to dress up, and it's a little different, with the hats and the gaiters and all that. But I kind of grew up in what you call a city where, people love to dress. So it's kind of inside of me. Now, I've flipped it a little bit and put my own spin on things, but it's just something that I've always loved to do, and I always felt that when you go to work and when you go to certain places, you present yourself a certain way. And in the day of age today, you don't always have to wear a suit. There's other ways to present yourself, but so I like to do different things at different times and take chances.
It's well documented as Dwyane Wade, the basketball player, the daily routine, the shoot around, the practice. Take me through an average day of being Dwyane Wade, the father to Zaire and Zion. What do you guys do?
Well, my days are not average, with them, but you know, it's kind of, you know, let's go through a school day, you know, when I'm there to be able to say get up in the morning and take them to school, you know. So it's the rush of, you know, getting up and you know, eating breakfast with them and, you know, making sure they have everything they need before we get out the door and they go to school, and to walk all of them to their class and, you know, make sure you give them that attention in their classroom. And then I go to practice and I come back and it's time for them to get out of school, and then you got to go into what they want to do next, you know. Study. We got to sit down, we got to study sometime together. Sometime we got to go, you know, if they want to play sports, you got to go there. You got to go support them there. And I'm raising 3 boys. I'm raising my nephew as well, so they all got different schedules. So I got to go to a therapy session with my oldest son. It's just so many different things that are going on that it's challenging, but it's like what I feel like I was born to do. I was bred to be a father.
Fantastic stuff. And when you wear pink pants like that coming into a game, you better win the championship. And Wade got that done. Now, Smitty, what did you learn about the man, the great Dwyane Wade, from that sit-down?
Like you said, it's the man. We all know about him, about the basketball player, but I got a chance to learn the journey of him being into fatherhood. I got a chance to learn about him being a man, and most importantly, I got a chance to learn more about Dwyane Wade and that he was at peace sharing all this personal information to the world.
And as a proud father of 2 boys, what advice would you give to some of the fathers out there in TV land?
Well, I think the one advice you would say is try not to miss a minute, because every minute you miss is something that you can't get back. I think being a father is something I wouldn't trade in for anything in the world, because once you got a chance to be a father that first day, it changes your life totally.
So we're up late taping on Friday night. We're not missing a minute. We're going to be up early Saturday morning with our boys on the ball fields doing our thing as well.